Hello, good evening everybody. A few more hymns from Twelveheads. Got your hymn books to the ready. A request from John Summers to play All Things Bright and Beautiful, which is 330 in hymns and psalms and 100 in singing the faith. So All Things Bright and Beautiful, that hymn which seems to crop up all over the place. Things bright and beautiful. Things are bright and beautiful today out there. Going around looking at some of the flowers and things today, and things are really coming on quite nicely. Sad to say my vegetable plot is a shambles at the moment. Unfortunately, I lent my gardening tools to my neighbours, so I'm slightly bereft of tools at the moment to go digging. Oh dear. There we are. Anyway, I'll stay in and play the piano instead. I had a request for My Song is Love Unknown, My Saviour's Love to Me. 173 in hymns and psalms and 277 in singing the faith. This is a wonderful hymn. It's all about favourites. I've got so many to choose from. I think if I was to sit down and play all the ones which are favourites, well, I'd be here a very long time. There are 7 verses to this, so I will just play 4 verses if you like for now. When I say 4 verses, I'll play the first verse, and I'll play the 4th, the 5th and the 7th. 1, 4, 5 and 7. wonderful words all the way through. But I'll play, those will be the verses I'll be thinking of, the words I'll be thinking of as I actually play this wonderful tune by John Ireland, great composer indeed. And there's several organ pieces by him, and bigger works, Those Things Shall Be, a great favourite. With Celtic Voices and Hubert Jr. Remember we did it once upon a time, or Celtic Chorale as it was then. My father didn't like this tune. I don't think he quite liked the harmony. Composers have got a sort of style of their own, and Ireland perhaps has a style of his own, with using some chords that perhaps you wouldn't expect in the last line, but life is full of unexpected things, isn't it? So my song is Love Unknown. Beautiful words, beautiful tune. I had a request to play a piece which we use at church at baptisms, and it's a piece I wrote some time back in 1994, I think. The Lord bless you and keep you. And I wrote this. Maggie Isaka, or Maggie Cresswell as she was then, was going to Ghana, and I felt sort of moved to write a little piece, and so I did, and that's where the origins of this arose, and I'll play it for you now. We sing it at church at the baptisms, and it just sort of fits. It's long enough for the baby to be taken around the chapel and shown to the congregation. So this is The Lord bless you and keep you. Indebted to my aunt and uncle for, they had a copy at home. Despite the fact I wrote it, doesn't mean to say that I can actually remember it off the top of my head. So I'll do my best for this copy which I've got here, I'm just deciding, usually at church I play it in a different key. So I'll play it in the key that it's written in this piece of music. Hopefully it'll all come good. So... Lord bless you and keep you. This time I made a decent copy and put it in the right key and all those sorts of things, and perhaps even wrote an accompaniment down to go with it rather than busking. It's good to internet's a great thing, isn't it? You can keep in contact with people from all over the place, and I had a request from Susanna Brooks. I've forgotten where Susanna actually lives and resides, but I know it's further away than Tresillian, where her parents live, somewhere up north. And she said, will I play Great God of Wonders, all thy ways display the attributes divine, to the tune Sovereignty. And she commented that you hadn't heard it sung for ages up there, and it's one of those hymns which has a sort of change of metre in the middle. The first bit goes along a nice sort of 4 square, and then we get a refrain, a chorus if you like, which is in common time, in compound time. So we go into, actually it's not in compound time at all, what am I talking about? It's gone into 3/4. A change of going from a 4 square to a triple time, rather, that's what I'm thinking of. Goodness me. Great God of Wonders. I won't play all the verses because it's a long hymn and verses as well, but it's got a wonderful bass line. Who is a pardoning God like thee? Great for the basses. We don't get to sing this all that often these days, but there we go. So Great God of Wonders. It's 38. It didn't make it into Singing the Faith, surprisingly. So not only has it got a super bass line, but it's got, you know, a bit for the ladies to do as well, and repeating the lines, as was the style of the time. I suppose it all reminds me somewhat of Thomas Merritt. I suppose it's that kind of style. However, let's do. I'll just do perhaps a couple of verses of this, as it is, as I say, quite long. Great tune. Great tune indeed. Another hymn which didn't make it into Singing the Faith is 142. At even when the sun was set, the sick, O Lord, around thee lay. Phil Borman suggested this one, particularly the second verse, which is particularly apt. Once more 'tis eventide, and we, oppressed with various ills, draw near. What if thy form we cannot see? We know and feel that thou art here. 142. I will play all the verses. There are 6 of them. The tune Angelus, which I think means angels. Well, that comes to the end of the hymns I'd planned to play for this evening. I think that's a beautiful words there. But I did have a request sort of just before I came on air. Goodness me, I'm getting above myself. 697 from Hymns and Psalms. I'm delighted that people are sort of joining in and having a look and seeing what's going on, and people joining all the time, and the dare I say the silver-haired surfers. And my mum enjoyed getting on the internet and doing things and seeing what was going on in the world and this, that and the other. Sometimes she managed well with the technology and sometimes she didn't. I used to, when we got to Christmas and it was time to do Christmas labels and things, that was always a task, that was, and I used to find that quite difficult, and I often had to sort it out for her. And but I was always delighted to do it. Better to get it done sooner rather than later, actually. So I'm going to play Just As I Am Without One Plea. Iris and Graham Crocker asked would I play this, and they've just sort of come online, I think today. And the tune is Saffron Walden, and it is amazing the things that you learn about people, but that is where Graham and Iris met, in Saffron Walden. So I'm learning things about my family which I didn't actually know. So Saffron Walden, I'm not sure I've ever been there, but good reason one day when we're allowed to go places. Walk down as far as the chapel and the playing field today, and that's it. But one day perhaps I'll get to Saffron Walden. Just As I Am Without One Plea, 697, to the tune Saffron Walden. I'll play a few more tomorrow. Believe it or not, I guess 2 years ago today was Easter Day, and I'm going to post the last hymn from the morning service, Thine Be the Glory. I had a request to play this, and I thought as it came up today, and I am somewhat missing the wonderful organ we've got at the church and the singing and being with people. So I'll share that, and you can have that as your last hymn for this evening. So I'll be back tomorrow to send your requests in, and I'll do my best to play them for you. So as always, do take good care of yourselves, and God bless for now.